Little meat noodle. Okay. Here we are. Did I have a total for $1,605? Not too shabby. All right. So, hello everybody. Welcome to Houston with a Problem. I think it's going. The video is still not popping up in my little magic corner thing here. I don't know why it takes like 30 seconds for the video to appear. So I'll just ramble as though I am broadcasting. And I don't know if I am or not, because now we're at 32 seconds, 33, 34. Oh, here we go. Boom. Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Houston with a Problem. Got the little sandworm down here. It's Wednesday. It's episode number 464, a little palindrome. And the news of the day is that dark pools dominated. There's like 250 million shares traded of GameStop today, and 209 million of them went through dark pools and absolutely suppressed the price. So we talked about yesterday how you had T+2 from Friday and T+1 just got implemented, coming together today with over 150 million shares that need to be made whole. Well, it's obvious they went out looking for those 150 million shares and found them in the nether regions of the dark pool world, and the price absolutely suppressed. So, begs the question. When Cat System goes live on Friday, right, what happens to the dark pools? How do they remain dark if every single solitary trade is supposed to be tracked? Will the dark pools report, right? Because there should have been an incredible amount of reporting of price action on the stock, but you can't because it's going through this nexus of, a hidden dimension known as the dark pools. It just seems straight up criminal. And the fact that this system is allowed to be, like, the dark pools existed for a reason, and that reason is being perverted via loophole. It was originally for, giant corporate action between companies, making a deal, doing like a direct sale of stock from one company to another because there's a merger acquisition, et cetera, going on. And that's what it was for. To GE and Westinghouse are going to have some sort of deal. They're going to trade stock for ownership of this one company. And you just do it in the dark pool and then go from there. Whereas today, it is being used as a legitimate retail source of retail trades and shares. And that's not what it was for at all. And it's being done that way so that market makers do not have to report the price driver, and they basically remove the demand from the supply so that the price does not reflect at all what the demand really is. And it's just sleight of hand magician bullshit that should not be allowed. And here we are. So, will volatility return? That's the question. It has to, right? We got $87 billion in swaps that are expiring between Friday and Monday. It's between 2 and 4 billion shares of GameStop that's short. That's how much $87 billion is. It's like 4.5 billion shares. So what, how, where, who, why, what is going on? Compounding the fact we've got the Weird Pleaser DAO, the album website with Once Upon a Time in Shaolin, definitely having relationships with GameStop and GameStop shareholders. We have weird 7 security share offerings coming from Newell Brands and GameStop at kind of the same time, both raising significant funds. We got significant fundraising happening by Carl Icahn, who disengaged himself from Newell Brands. So, I'm definitely chin stroking. I don't know. It's pretty dark outside, so let's do one of these. Okay, turn that off. Oh, the Charity Tuesday intro was still on. We're going to turn that off. Okay, go through the list. Don't be a fool. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, they're all off. All right. It was a definite shit show yesterday. I was so distracted trying to write down names that I did not get the intros off. And I didn't make my Excel spreadsheet today, so I could do a drawing. So I need to do that. I need to make the Excel spreadsheet. We'll get that. I'm sorry. I'll probably do a little show tomorrow. Probably a short show. This might not be a short show tonight too, but I'll probably do a short show tomorrow because I assume weird things are gonna be happening tomorrow. But what's on your mind? Oh, wait. There was a space call today. I listened a little bit. My God, I just can't do space calls. They're the most boring thing in the entire world. But Pulte had a space call with a bunch of people from the MMTLP community. Sounds like he's trying to mobilize some action for them. He's always kind of going after one of these retail communities. I think what he's trying to do personally is that he's trying to build up an army to help him do a proxy fight for the control of Pulte homes. And if he gets enough goodwill by helping these folks all battle the evildoers, he might just be able to pull it off. So, but you got to get probably 40 to 60 million shares purchased by friendly people to get that to happen, which is like $4 to $6 billion. And we don't have the money for that yet. But if we win on these fronts with MMTLP, Bed Bath, GameStop, etc., the money will be there. And he might be able to do his proxy fight. So we'll see how that goes. BFH, quad witching day, more like quad intro day. Am I right? Calgary Bali. First, I was afraid. I was petrified, thinking I would live without you by my side. No, you were second, my man. Second. GDC, sorry, top 5. Iglamon, sideways eyes. Calgary, everybody. God dang it, BFH, you ruined everything. Happy birthday, Houston. Iglamon, how much more can the commercial real estate bubble handle before it totally bursts? I think it's bursting right now. You see tons of these properties going in default, being sold for pennies on the dollar at auction. Usually it's the bank that just wins the auction because the only bid is the amount of money that they're owed, and they take control. And then they don't know what to do with it because they can't sell it. No one wants it. Downtowns are emptying out everywhere as work from home takes over. And, it's just going to compound urban problems, which then make it even harder to get those spaces rented out. And then you've got Blackstone and companies selling off their good assets. So Blackstone just sold Turtle Bay, which is the elite Oahu resort, for $725 million, which was twice what they paid for it in 2016, somewhere in there. And they renovated it since then. And so if they're selling off the good stuff, it's probably to pay for the bad stuff. And they probably have a gigantic portfolio of dog shit commercial real estate. Let's face it, that stuff is empty. Every single one of those buildings is 30 to 40% empty all across the country. So what are you going to do? If everyone's working from home and no one's working in those offices, then those companies are not going to pay for that square footage, especially in older buildings. Older buildings are doomed. If you're in a market where you're hey, that thing's brand new and it's got all the infrastructure we need, don't have to worry about heating or lighting or anything else, sweet, boom, move in there. And then the older building's but I exist too. Yeah, but you're full of asbestos and you're not wired for Ethernet, and no one gets cell signal through your brick walls, and there's going to be screaming deals. If you want to have a roller rink on the 40th floor of a 70-year-old office tower, you can make one at this point, probably for pennies. So it'd be kind of fun, actually. I'd have a disco party in a tall building like that. But when this has happened in the past, has usually led to an arts explosion, because these commercial industrial spaces become cheap and abandoned, and then artsy-fartsy types pick them up for pennies, and they go in, they do cool stuff, and they create really neat kind of bohemian cultures and arts communities. Then you get badass art. You get amazing music. You get all sorts of cool nightclubs and stuff formed out of it. So it can be a revitalization cycle for a lot of these towns. Then they'll get regentrified again as the developers move in and kick everybody out and try to capitalize on the cool stuff they made. You know, just like 1990 Seattle. But it's going to take a while, and it's going to be pretty gross and depressing. I assume you'll see the pawn shops and the strip clubs and the sex toy stores will all move into a lot of these spaces downtown that used to have North Face and Tiffany and Patagonia and Nordstrom's. And so, you know, that's where you get your secondhand Nordstrom stuff, is at the pawn shop, and then you go spend at the strip club next door. But that's, you know, Times Square in the 1970s and 80s. That's what we're looking at. Okay. GDC. Happy birthday, Jason. I finally broke down and created a YouTube account, so no more snail mail. Glad Monkey likes your flames. Oh, thank you. Thank you. That's okay. Yeah, GDC. Welcome to the future. And I do enjoy the snail mail, though. It's lovely. Wish I need to go to the post office. Do I? We need to go to the post office, right, Monkey? She's like, whatever, man. BOH. Eaglemon, apparently this commercial mortgage-backed security crisis is starting to hit Europe, so probably not much longer before the U.S. banks have another country to blame. Oh, yeah. The America would love to have Japan and Europe to blame for all this stuff. Like, they go under and we go, oh, we tried, but they just brought us down like concrete shoes. But we're on 9 straight quarters of really big banking losses. I mean, if you look at the graph of banking losses, it is just from 2020 on, it is abysmal. Banks don't have money. That's why you're seeing the reverse repo just evaporate before our eyes, because they need the cash to cover all these bad bets they have. And the fact depositors don't have any cash anymore. They don't have any money. And what's crazy is, you know, we had this inflation crisis, and yeah, there was supply chain issues from COVID. We had factories shutting down. We had ships stuck in ports. We had all sorts of things happen due to the supply chain. But the price gouging that happened for the last couple of years had absolutely nothing to do with supply chain, nor supply and demand. It was all corporate price gouging. And you can see it in the fact that grocery retailers like Amazon Fresh and others are now slashing their prices by 30%. Because they're starting to realize they priced out their customers, and their customers stopped coming. Oh, weird. You have the ability to cut the prices by 30% suddenly? That means you were charging 30% more than you had to this entire time. Not like you're cutting prices by 30 cents and you're going to have a loss. That's not going to happen. You're still going to be making a profit. That's why you're cutting those prices by that much. You know, fast food restaurants. We've talked about this before. Fast food restaurants are losing customers like crazy. And the American public now views going to a fast food restaurant as a luxury. That is not the point of a fast food restaurant. It's supposed to be cheap and easy for the lazy and the not too proud. Those are the reasons why you go to a fast food restaurant. But if you're going to spend $20 per meal at a fast food restaurant, you might as well spend $20 at a good restaurant. It's going to take just as long. You know, it's crazy. It's bonkers. And Julius Miami sent me a video today from a guy's used car lot, going around talking to other car dealership people and showing that there's a massive glut of new cars on lots. We're talking 2025 models are coming in, especially for large trucks, you know, Rams, Tundras, Denali's, whatever. And there's such a huge glut. And these trucks are all $65,000 to $100,000. These are pickup trucks. These things are supposed to be $18,000, right? And they're $95,000. Don't even have leather interiors. They're just like mid-range trucks spending $95,000. So these 2025 models are coming in. And the 2025 models are sharing lots with brand new 2022 models they were never able to sell. So they can't sell the 2022s, they can't sell the 2023s, they can't sell the 2024s, and the 2025s have arrived. So they got 4 model years of brand new trucks. And one of the guys showed that in the Detroit area, it was a 1,400-day supply of 2025 Dodge Rams, Ram 1500s in Detroit. within 100 miles of Detroit. And that in the last 45 days, they've only sold 77 of them. And they have 3,000 they need to sell. Right? So people are like, oh, I need a pickup truck. I am not paying $95,000. I'll go to the used market. I will pick up whatever I can for $10,000, do whatever work I can on it to make it live a little longer, and I'm going to drive that. You're just not going to see these things. And then the floor plan repos are happening where dealerships, they acquire vehicles from the manufacturer on a loan, right? They take out a loan, they put this thing on their lot in their showrooms, and they wait for it to sell. When it sells, and they pay off their loan and collect their cash, whatever. And now the dealers are getting repoed because the cars are sitting too long on their lots. They're not selling because it's way too expensive and no one has the money for them. And they're getting repoed. So you're getting brand new cars, brand new trucks, especially Escalades, Land Rovers, etc., that are now going to insurance auctions and being auctioned there with 40 miles on them because they sat in the lot for so long that the dealer could no longer keep paying the interest on the loan that they needed for that car. Talking these things are sitting on the lots for 200 days, 300 days, right? Like if you put a car in your garage for 300 days and try to turn it over, it's going to need a lot of work. That's what's happening. These things are sitting out in the rain. They're getting weathered on. They're not moving. The tires are getting flat on one side and no one's buying them. So what's happening is that now the auction market, the wholesale market, is getting flooded with vehicles. And now the used car people are getting these vehicles super cheap because the demand is way down and they're able to fill up their used car lots with a much higher quality vehicle that's actually cheaper. So it's going to be great for used car buying. I don't know when or how the prices are going to come down on new cars, but $95,000 for a pickup truck is insane. You need like a 100-month loan. By the time you're halfway through that loan, the value of the truck is a quarter of what it was. You're instantly underwater on every single one of those car loans at 100 months. It's bonkers. So, yeah, where was I? Keegan Murphy. Hello, people of all Houston Jet and Houston. Happy birthday. Thank you. Paraturn, Houston. What do you say the folks who claim 500,000 a share for GME wouldn't be plausible due to the market cap surpassing the U.S. yearly total? I know it's possible more money than reported. It doesn't mean all shares sell for $500,000. That just is the peak, right? Like, or peak might even be higher than that. They spent the money, or they got the money selling the shares naked. Now they got to buy them back. The cash is there. Who knows where it is, but it's there, and they got to buy our shares back. So, right, monkey? I'm not saying that all 4 billion naked shorts are going to sell for $500,000 or more. As we can see, people sell them, day trade them right now. They're probably making killing doing their day trading stuff. But at some point, the day traders will run out of shares. And at some point, the price is going to go so high, the day traders can't get back in. And they're not going to want to day trade if they see a parabolic curve happening. And then it comes down to the hodlers, the people that are holding on for dear life, and they're not selling for anything below crooked phone book numbers. So if you want those shares, you're going to have to pay it. That's just the way supply and demand works. And the demand is forced buying by trading computers because short hedge funds are being liquidated. And that's the name of the game. Don't short things unless you are prepared to get absolutely effed in the A. I have no problem with that. Paratarian, have you been house searching Zillow lately? Find myself looking at large amounts of land to buy after MOAS. Oh, I love window shopping on real estate sites. I can't decide if I want to be elevated with a view or down on the water where the fun is. Why not both, right? GDC, HW, now that Angel Hand is retired, who is the new Adam Aaron of baseball umps? Probably CB Buckner. He's pretty garbage. I mean, there's a lot of guys. I mean, Angel Hernandez is the most garbage umpire who's ever lived. Last year, he was out for most of the season. He only came back in late August. And in those 10 games, he missed 161 calls, which made him miss more calls than any other umpire combined for the rest of the season. So in those 10 games he did, he was worse than anyone else was for the entire season. That's how garbage he was. Angel Hernandez, just absolutely terrible. I mean, pitches down the middle called as balls, pitches in the dirt, called as strikes. Guy's a bat in his shoulder. He says he swung. Just absolutely the worst umpire who's ever lived. He was so bad. I don't know how he was so bad, unless he was making money from bookies on the side, throwing games for people. That's the only other explanation. He either has to be so outlandishly terrible he should never have a job, or he's on the take from the mafia. Either way, he shouldn't have had a job in the first place. I do think that in baseball, we need a system that grades umpires and sends the terrible ones down the minor leagues or something and brings up the good ones from the minor leagues. Just like baseball players. If you suck at your job, you shouldn't have your job at that level. Shouldn't be locked in. Baseball players aren't locked in, right? A baseball player, he's got a $200 million contract, and he starts to just suck. You just DFA him and you eat the salary, right? So why don't we do that with umpires? Okay. Kevin Rainen, happy birthday, Houston. Thanks for giving me something to watch in the morning besides Roaring Kitty's tweets in reverse. Until then. Alex Bishop got here. Pro State Productions, ticket fees for tomorrow night's Timberwolves Mavericks game in Minneapolis. Top row, nosebleed, $72 fee per ticket. Mid-level lower section ticket, $234 per seat. Not going. Aw, that's okay. You can buy a few more shares with that. BFH, Houston, speaking of Hernandez, can you do a game theory on how the MLB would win no matter what happened? Talking about umpire union contract, Hernandez losing his lawsuits, whatever else. Well, Hernandez was suing because he was claiming that he was left out of postseason job opportunities as an umpire because he is Hispanic. I think it's pretty obvious. Baseball could argue that he was just the worst umpire who's ever lived, and that, the job quality had everything to do with the fact he was lucky to be an umpire at the major league level to begin with. And that was kind of we know you suck. I'm not sure where that would go. If him retiring means that the suit's going to be dismissed, I don't know. But I do think that the social media backlash to Hernandez is probably the biggest reason why he's retiring, because no one should know an umpire's name. When I was a kid, the only umpire's name I knew was Rocky Roads because his name was Rocky Roads, and that's the ice cream, right? And beyond that, I could not tell you a single umpire's name because they just did their job and they went away and they didn't do anything generally that made you notice who they were. But Angel Hernandez was so bad. Just absolutely monumentally, stupendously, outlier bad that he is Angel Hernandez the terrible. And he will go down 50 years from now, people will be talking about how terrible Angel Hernandez is. And you just don't want that to be your legacy. Just slink off, man. But I don't know what the union contract's going to look like for umpires that's coming around. I do think the Players Association may lean on it a bit and be like, hey, you need to have something that's similar to what we have, which is if you suck at your job, get out. And the Europeans are just waking up, are like, God damn it, why is he talking baseball? That's happening. J-Dog, bottom of the ninth, Astros Mariners still 1-1. Oh yeah, let's see what the hey, look at that. Final 2-1 Mariners. Fantastic. They won it. Yes. In 10 innings. So cool. On 4 hits. Man, Mariners can't hit. Belgium Wales yesterday, a show when I go to sleep. Today, when I wake up. Moving time today, we go from Sisi, Crete to Setia. Have fun. Bought a couple of $30 calls for 21st. Maybe some more if we dip more. Well, the implied volatility dropped a lot today, so things got super cheap comparatively to yesterday when we were moving quite a bit. So, huge unit. How am I supposed to sleep now? Well, for closing your eyes, Geminius has got coordinates. Let's see if it's more successful than the coordinating that we did yesterday. There we go. All right. Bam, bam, bam. Whee! Where are we going? So going to Europe? Going to, is that, I can't tell if we're south of France or if we're in, like Barcelona? Oh, we're in Barcelona. There we go. There's the Gaudi's Basilica here. It's almost finished. This finishes, what, this year, next year? Something like that? It's under construction for 140 years or so. I'd love to go to Barcelona and see it in person. It's cool, man. It's cool. Yeah. We have another picture. The one picture? Yeah, very gaudy. How about that picture? There we go. That's a good one. Yeah, look at that thing. It's like when you like make one of those like drippy sandcastles. That's what it looks like. It's pretty cool. Lots of detail. The inside's just as neat. So, yeah, MOAS trip. Definitely going to Barcelona. Robert Hurt, 250,000 still without power here. That's in Texas. Yeah, you guys got hit with a lot. I saw a video of like hailstones passing through the roof of a Walmart, and everyone's like covering their heads with whatever they can find on the shelves. Cars under overpasses refusing to move, and so all the other cars in line just get destroyed by the hailstones. Lots of tornadoes. Lots of tornadoes. The number of tornadoes this year, like each year we have record number of tornadoes. This year seems like a record number of tornadoes. Just and we don't have technology good enough to like forecast a tornado more than a couple minutes. So if you live somewhere in Tornado Alley, you know, anywhere from Florida to Colorado, right? Have your phone on you. Have the sound on so you can get that tornado alert, because that's all you're gonna get. You might be able to look at the sky and be like, oh, that looks gross. There's probably a tornado coming. But if you're inside a building, inside your house, you're watching TV, it's nighttime outside, you don't get to see those like tumultuous clouds and the funnel clouds forming. So have a shelter, have a plan, you know, do drills with your family, because like you might build a sub basement or something that you can go hide in. But if your family doesn't know what the drill is, like, hey, alarm's going off, head down, teach them. Have a go bag, because your house might get ripped to shreds, and when you come out of your shelter, there's nothing. There's no clothes, there's no water, there's no food. So have go bags for yourself, your kids, your pets. Have a couple days of food available with for pets and water, because they're going to need it, right? I mean, monkey could probably go around and feast on the carcasses of your neighbors, but it's always good to have a go bag for natural disasters, whether it's looking at hurricanes, tornadoes, earthquakes, it's volcanoes. Like, have a system so that you can get the hell out and provide for everyone, and run drill on it. Show your family, this is our first aid kit. This is, you know, my go bag, your mom's go bag, kitty's go bag, puppy's go bag, and the children's go bag, and let them know where it is. Let them know the phone numbers they need to memorize, etc. Because who knows, cell towers might be down, stuff like that. So, yeah, and power's out a couple of days, and we all know, you know, Texas is famous for having just a garbage electrical system that's not hooked up to the national grid. I saw a great picture last night of North America from satellite, showing Texas looking like North Korea, like no lights on. The rest of America, all the cities had their lights on. Texas, nope, dark. Huge unit. When the CAT system goes live, my $40 calls better be in the money. From your lips to God's ears. Sis 54, push it down further, one other sale. Yeah. Brian Collins is here. Bill Coyne's on Zillow looking for MOAS home as well. Brian Collins thought the CAT system went live last Friday. No. CAT system, last Friday was the requirement of reporting irregularities by brokers and market participants. On Tuesday, the CAT system went live in Canada, and on Friday, the CAT system goes live for the United States. So it's like little steps along the way. My guess is it's actually running right now, but they're not officially monitoring it. They're just kind of still doing testing phase. And the CAT system was approved in 2012. Here we are 12 years later, and they're finally bringing it online. It was supposed to go online in September of 2021. They postponed it, and it's supposed to go in 2022. They postponed it. So here we are, 12 years later, hopefully going live on Friday. Oh, crud. Reset the chat here. Aaron Heiss. How about if transfer agents made shares non-fungible and used transaction fees to replace all exchanges? Visa does it, so there is a legal precedent. No further incentives for arbitrage. I'm cool with that. I'm okay with going back to commissions. Just don't think commissions, like old commission style pre-90s where you're paying like 8% a trade. No, that's garbage. But I do think, standard, let's say penny a trade commission. I'm okay with that. That stuff adds up, especially people day trading, moving stuff around. You got people trying to get arbitrage. If they had to pay a penny every single time they did that, we would raise a boatload of money for all sorts of brokerages. They wouldn't need to do all the shady stuff. But yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay with having a fee like that. I'm okay with having a tax, a penny per share tax. I'm okay with that too. It would hurt you if you're trading penny stocks, but if it's per trade, you could do 600,000 shares of a sub penny stock and you just pay an extra penny on top of it. Okay. Pay for schools and hospitals and roads and everything else. But yeah, dark pool's got to go. That's for sure. Got read happy birthday, HW. BMO missed earnings. Bank's not doing well. 5,000 calls, transaction traded. Can you imagine if they exercise them? Not enough shares. I think the plan is to exercise them. There's what, $2 billion in the money calls at the moment. That's a lot of money in calls. And it represents, I don't know how many, several $100 billion probably in shares. So, whew. Robert Hurt, 3 for 1 double intro, 25 to 1 for triple intro. None. That's what I say. Antonio Baez, I'm not holding my breath because crime and corruption run deep. Crime and corruption rule the land until the criminals run out of money. And if they don't have money, that means they can't pay people off. And they can't pay people off, well, then the crime has run its course. And it's time for a new regime. Zuma got to do with Nub. RC never sold his BBY position, just moved it somewhere else. That is the prevailing theory. That he sold in that he transferred it from one entity to another, probably via proxy. Some are suggesting it's Hudson Bay Capital who received it via proxy. Hudson Bay kind of said that those shares aren't theirs, that pushed them over the 10% limit. Therefore, it shouldn't count towards their insider status. I know she's full of opinions. I can tell. Her brain's just whirring. She's like, oh man, what's it all mean? What does it mean, monkey? And Kelly Reed, hope MOAS happens soon. Here in Canada, housing affordability is getting worse. Justin says houses can't come down or else it affects boomers' retirement. Future generations aren't looking bright. Yeah. One of the big problems we have as a society is that your home is seen as a retirement vehicle. If you look at people who are millionaires, like something ridiculous, it's like 90% of those millionaires are only millionaires because their home is worth $1 million. And their home is only worth $1 million because they bought it 40 years ago for $75,000, and it happens to be worth $1 million today. They can't afford the taxes on it because we have a tax system in most places around the world for property taxes that goes by the assessed value of the home and not the purchase price. And so older people get priced out of their homes. And where are they going to go? Right? You're priced out of your home. Where are you going to go? You get to move to the shittiest places in the entire world where homes are still cheap. And then what? Okay, now your quality of life is diminished entirely because you're living in, some dead coal mining town because it's the only house you could afford. Oh, who's that? I hear scratches. What's up, dude? Yeah, turn off your intro, because if I don't, then people win and I lose. Intro off. Don't distract me, cat. Don't distract me. Come here, you chunk. There we go. Cat karaoke. Scott Lumley. Houston, happy birthday, man. Where do you see home prices in the U.S. and Canada in about a year? Well, that kind of fits along with Kelly Reed, right? Home prices are still bonkers because supply is low. Like, what we're missing is a lot of homes are going in foreclosure. Have not entered the market yet, and we're at like 4 or 5% foreclosure rate right now for homes, which is, excuse me, I'm the hiccups today. Concentrate, don't hiccup, don't hiccup. Drink water upside down. So I don't think we're quite seeing the glut of homes entering the market like we probably will. We've talked about the Airbnb bust, where a crazy number of homes are purchased on spec for Airbnb usage, but people aren't using Airbnb like they were before. And there's too many Airbnb homes, and a lot of people have, like, they can no longer work from anywhere because, you know, a certain number of people had to go back to the office. So those places are now turning into long-term rentals and running into trouble with that, because when you flood the market with long-term rentals and all of them charge too much, no one's going to rent. So I think we'll start to see a little more push into the market of these spec Airbnb houses as they start to default on their mortgages. I wouldn't doubt if we see default rates by winter, probably pushing 8-9%, which is really, 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 really high. But we're seeing like ridiculous 9-10% defaults on auto loans right now. So the next step is homes. And will Blackstone go in and buy them all? Or will they have money to do that? I don't know. So right now, home prices are being pretty steady because of the limited supply of homes on the market, and the people who are buying have to buy because they're moving locations, right? The only people who are going to be buying homes right now are ones who have cash or ones who have to do it, and they're just going to stomach an 8% loan on their new house. It's once the market gains a little bit more volume, that's when you're going to start to see price cuts. Just down the street from me, this quaint little 1950s house, not very big, probably 1,000 square feet, sold on a couple of acres. A year and a half ago? Sold for, I think, $600,000. Really cheap for this neighborhood. Like, this house I'm in is worth like $1.5 million. So sells for like $600,000. Developer comes in, bulldozes the thing. Let's see if we can find to do Zillow. Bulldozes the thing and builds this thing my roommate refers to as the church. It looks like a church. And it's it's a big rectangle with no windows. And it's for sale for $2.5 million. Do I have... Did it sell? It does not look like it's on there at all. It'd be that one, right? Right? How come you're not on there? What, did it sell already? That's crazy. Okay, wait. How do I... Price... No minimums. I got no minimums set up. Okay, so here we go. That's not what I want. Boom. Chrome. Oh, Mozilla off. Chrome on. Come on, we can do this. We have technology. There we go. Okay. So this is the quaint little house. This is right as they're about to tear it down, I believe. I can't zoom anymore. That's as far as I can zoom. Okay. That's as far. 705,000 was valued at. And literally, like, they had open house on Sunday, and it's 2.4 million. And it looks like it must have sold already because I don't see a sign on this at all. Yeah, it's a tiny little place. Here. Itty bitty. Look at this thing. Teeny tiny little 2-bedroom. Not much of anything. Yeah, they made it look nice when they sold it. $705,000 estimate. I think it sold. Usually tells us the history, right? Scroll down far enough. Sold for $606,000, 2022. So it was 2 years ago. Yeah, so sold for $606,000. Dropped. They're asking $700,000, so sold for $100,000 less. And then Leyline bought it, and let's see if we can find Leyline Homes. Leyline Design and Build. Not now. Recent homes. This one right here. This guy. It looks like a church. This is what they replaced it with. $2.5 million. The Longhouse. Check it out. Yeah. So 3,000 square feet. It's a big giant box. 2 bedrooms? That's ridiculous. Oh, no, that's a master bedroom. So it's got 3 bedrooms. Okay, 3 bedrooms, big rectangle, $2.5 million. Okay. There you go. How about that? Yeah. Just nuts. Wonder how much they spent building that. It must have spent probably $1 million building this. So 1.7 million in it. Probably get, if someone did pay 2.5 million, you get $800,000 profit. Not too shabby. But it's just ridiculous that someone's going to come along with cash and be like, yeah, I'll buy that rectangle from you. And I have no problem living next to a busy road that's loud as shit. Because that road is really, really loud. If I had $2.5 million, I wouldn't be buying a home next to a busy road, I tell you that much. I would get someplace much more quiet on the same amount of land or waterfront. You can get a waterfront home for $2.5 million. Anyway. Yeah. So yeah, home prices I think come down. Those boomers just have to just be like, well, I'm going to rely upon my Social Security and pensions and retirement funds, and not the home I purchased 50 years ago to get me through my retirement. Because you're going to find you can't climb the stairs anymore, right? That you're getting priced out in taxes. You're going to have to move into a home anyway. So just make places affordable. Everyone needs a roof, dude. Everyone needs a roof. Right, H. Hello, Monkey Butt and Chunky Cat. Right, Chalupa? Right, little monkey dog. Oh, yes. Junius Houston. Pulte may be looking for help for that proxy fight, but he can't just grift. Dude needs tangible results in any one of these groups to materialize that. He does. We need a win, man. We get a win, people probably jump on Pulte's bandwagon so quick that he'll be like, woo, I did it. But if we don't get any wins, especially in the next 30 days, 25 days, there's going to be a lot of explaining to do. Because people can smell the blood in the water right now. We know there's something cooking, and we want to eat. We're hungry. So we need that. Danny Motes, Houston, happy birthday. I don't see how we win with dark pools in play. How the F are dark pools even legal? Exactly. And what will dark pools look like when the cat system comes online? That's what I want to know. Does the cat system deal with them in any way, shape, or form? Robert Hurt, crinkle that tendy time bag really hard. You got the dogs trained. They're sitting here watching. Shall we? Shall we, monkey? Turn that off, and then we go like this. Oh, monkey butt. Look, they did get another $100, monkey butt. So you do get a treat from yesterday. So might as well get two, right? Although I did buy you a hamburger earlier, so you had that going for you. Oh, stinky beef. Air. You want to stay laying down? Are you a lazy dog? You want to stay laying down? You can stay laying down. All right. There we go. It's late. She's tired. I don't have to go crazy with it. One more. What a little good dog. All right. Hopefully Robert Hertz dogs all got fed. He sent me a great picture of like 900 of them all eating. Okay. Where am I? Luke, Houston. I know you're a GME guy, but do you think most people in AMC will be able to sell in the 4-digit range at least? What do you see as likely, and what is that based on? No. Because anytime there's price action, Adam Aaron dumps tens of millions of shares in the market and just hammers it right back down again. No. You get double digits possibly. If Adam Aaron doesn't sell a single thing, doesn't sell a single share, and lets nature take its course, I bet you can get into the double digits. Way up there. But no. Especially with box office polls right now being absolutely abysmal. I went to the movie theater for the first time in a long time and saw Furiosa, which is really good, by the way. Great storyline. But it's the worst Memorial Day weekend since 1995. Back but if you can pull $25 million for your movie in 1995, you were setting records. And here we are 30 years later going, oh, movies are too expensive. They're just even a family of four is spending $100 to go to the movies. And that's ridiculous. You should not be spending that to go to a movie, especially when it's going to be available on HBO or Amazon 3 or 4 weeks from then anyway, right? And what's the point? Like, movies should be $5, $6 to go to a movie, and then more people go to the movies, and you sell more in concessions. And that needs to be the business model everyone has, because if you can get 3 times as many people in at $6 for the movie, then the box office draw is going to be much larger. And people these days, everyone has an 85-inch TV at home, right? They got Ultra HD. They can stream it, and if they got any patience whatsoever, they can wait a couple of weeks. Like, I thought about going to watch Dune in the theaters, and I just never got around to it. And then it appeared on my HBO for free, and I watched Dune, all 9 hours of montages. And you know what? I'm glad I didn't pay the money to go see it in the theater. I was like, oh, this one's not as good as the other one. This is just a lot of montage, and they didn't quite stitch together the storyline the way they could have. And here we are. So, I like Furiosa. I'm glad I saw it in the theater. I highly recommend it. My big bummer, my big complaint with Furiosa is Fury Road was so much practical effects that I was hoping to see the same type of thing come out of Furiosa, but there was a lot of green screen and a lot of like digital backgrounds, and that kind of bummed me out. I really dislike green screens. Just go out to the desert, film in the desert. It looks so much better. But yeah, it's, it is what it is. Right, Cat? Yeah, Cat's on the floor going, totally. Hannibal Grimm is here. GDC. Pulte is doing grassroots stuff for political reasons, trying to show his value to the party. That's also happening. And he's some of the super right-wing stuff that he's involved in is really sketchy. If he actually helps retail investors and we get through action that hurts these short hedge funds and market makers and gets them to start, behaving in an ethical manner, cool. But at the same time, he's supporting Trump. Trump is going to have his entire campaign paid for by Ken Griffin. right? So, is there going to be change that actually happens? No, probably not. Yeah. Everything's always so shitty. Jake Geyser, watched the last couple episodes of Young Sheldon. Tough. Okay. I've never seen it, so I don't know. First impressions. How much does it cost to heat and cool a small one office tower? Small $1 office tower? Didn't seem worth it just to own a building. Oh, like if you buy one of those buildings for like $1, then you have like 200,000 square feet of space. Oh, it's going to cost you a fortune. But most of those places are connected to steam plants. So like in downtown Seattle, there's a giant steam plant and they heat like all office towers downtown. So not like you're on baseboard or anything like that. It's you're paying a bill to like one company to heat everything via like radiant steam through all the buildings. That's kind of neat. But yeah, my guess is it's a fortune. It's an absolute fortune, especially an older building that probably has a really low R value. It's going to cost you just a ridiculous amount of money. So, you turn all the other floors into basketball courts and roller rinks and, I don't know, dwarf tossing rings or something. And you just live on one of the floors. And that's what you do. Sean O, thoughts on why NextBridge dropped petition against TradeStation? They did? I did not see that. I got the complaint. I got petition. Did NextBridge settle with TradeStation? Okay. Based on court documents, we see the upcoming hearing in this case was canceled. On April 29th, reported the case involved NextBridge hydrocarbons. They're supposed to have a hearing on the 31st, I thought. There was a hearing time 1 p.m. So as of now, we don't know why the hearing was canceled. People are speculating there may have been some type of settlement between the parties. A TradeStation has agreed to supply the necessary data to NextBridge. Attorney Mike Basile responded with a tweet to Ramen Soup's somewhat joyful reaction to the report of the cancellation. Well, there's Ramen Soups. That guy's a fucking tool bag. Ramen Soups, amendment to be bad news. Naked short hoax that NextBridge appears to be canceled. No more hearing, 531 and share count. You must go to MMET and pump that stock out. Nearly bankrupt. If you want West Christian to file lawsuits, unacceptable. Ramen Soups was a short. That guy, he's a convicted fraudster. And he had a short position on MMTLP, so fuck that guy. If you're listening to him and you tweet me or you message me on any boards, I'm automatically blocking you because that guy sucks. He is a terrible, terrible human being, and I want nothing to do with him or anyone else who follows him. Just that guy can eat a bag. Mark Basile says, how does anyone know they didn't settle prior to the hearing by providing the information? That is a distinct possibility, happens a lot. Hearings can be canceled for multiple reasons. Cases can also be dismissed based on settlement by the parties outside of court. At this point, we don't have any official answer. Okay. So do we have any official answer yet? It's West Christian thing. RICO lawsuit's been filed. Lawsuit against TradeStation happened. That's the most recent thing that happened yesterday. So, yeah. There we go. So, I guess the hearing's getting canceled. Must be canceled. I doubt it's been canceled because like they're like, oh, we're scared of TradeStation. I think Basile's probably right in that respect that it was canceled because they got what they needed. They don't need to go to a hearing because they were provided all the information they need. Yeah, so that'd be my guess. And Ramen Soups can just suck a fat one. Okay. Sean O, first to squeal gets a deal. That's also right. Robert Hurt, Astros Rangers for the pennant. Astros, no. The Astros are like the 2004 Mariners. They had this Ferrari from 2000, 2001, 2002, 2003, and everyone just got too old and broken. In 2004, Brett Boone stopped putting a needle in his butt. Pitching fell apart. Like, everyone just got old and broken, and they had just an absolutely terrible, terrible season. And the Astros, I think, are in that cycle that yeah, they just don't have it at the moment. Peachy Sunday. No one has money anymore, Houston. Only the top 10% is owning everything. Can't wait for wealth redistribution to see them eat instant noodles every day. It's the dream, isn't it? BJK031. Houston, can you give me the anti-sell on GME going to the moon this summer? What can you do to keep a lid on MOS? I mean, the only method they have is short selling. So if they're able to keep pushing everything through dark pools, and they're able to, wrap up these swaps that are due and repackage them into new swaps that someone takes on, then yeah, they can suppress the price. But even though we've got these big swaps coming due or expiring, there still will be volatility. We've seen that. If for some reason those hundreds of thousands of in the money options all get sold and exercised, that would be another thing that would keep volatility from happening. If nothing gets announced from GameStop for anything interesting, no mergers, no Wu-Tang, terrible earnings reports, I don't know, Ryan Cohen doing lines of blow live on webcam, stuff like that might hurt everything in the end. But at the moment, I think we got a lot of momentum. And I definitely smell the blood in the water. Come on. You can bite my leg or you can come up here. Come on. Pick one. Pick one. Come on. Or you can go over there. Yeah, so their only response to everything is sell short. And sell short just increases their liability. That's why there's $87 billion tied up in one of those swaps. $87 billion. That is ridiculous. But the stock's $20, right? 87 billion divided by $20, you're at over 4 billion shares. How do you have $87 billion in liability for a company that's worth what, $6 billion on paper? That is ridiculous. That alone should set off alarm bells at the SEC and FINRA and everyone else saying, oh, this thing is shorted beyond belief, beyond what anyone else recognizes. We should look into this. But, they suck at their jobs and they're not going to do that. As long as everything gets taken care of behind the scenes, they're not going to care. I mean, JP Morgan got busted spoofing, hundreds of billions of dollars in trades, and their fine was $98,000. The fine should be so punitive that you never, ever, ever want to do it again. Not have it be a rounding error on like a tip you leave at a restaurant compared to what they would do. Yeah, that's the stuff in the system needs to change. Is that the SEC needs to make these fines gargantuanly punitive. We have it in our retail investor bill of rights. But yeah, make it hurt. Don't make it be like, oh yeah, whatever. Okay, here you go. I'm reaching my pocket and take that, SEC. And SEC goes, woohoo! We just paid for one employee with that. I'm sure the whistleblower who got the like 20 grand off of it after being fired from JP Morgan from their $1 million a year job are like, thanks, SEC. It's just so dumb. Carla Giles, Houston started MOAS, June or May? June. I think things we have to get weird after Friday. I think that first week of June is when they truly get weird. So, June. Tristan Taint. What's up, bro? Taints are up. GDC. If big company, Siemens, Apple, GameStop, offer to buy No Labs, would Ron listen to their offers or just tell them bugger off? I have no idea. At this point, I think he would wait until they got FDA approval before he ever thought about selling, because then they got a tangible product that's going to market and the company's worth so much more. But if they were like, hey, we'll give you a 1-for-1 Apple stock, he might be like, okay. Right? Belgian whale adopted a baby gorilla yesterday for charity. To be clear, I'm not taking that thing in. Okay. Brett Montgomery. I've been retired for about 4 years. In the last last week, 3 major banks get a hold of me about repossessions and writing up damage and default leases, including 3 dealerships who defaulted on flooring cost. Really? Huh. What's that? What'd you retire from that they're now contacting you? That's crazy. Cabo, then you say they just make up shares behind the F5 button? If so, how can they ever run out of shares? Someone just has to put a spotlight on it. Someone who matters and regulators has to put a spotlight on it and go, oh, this is messed up, and fix the loophole. That's all that has to happen. You just fix the loophole so they can't hit the F5 button. Take the F5 button off their keyboard. Something like that. I don't know, man. Brett Montgomery, vehicle repossessions have gone up 67% in the last 2 months, and heavy equipment, i.e. Caterpillar, Doosan, John Deere, up 24%. This is not good. No, it is not. And I'm sure we'll see all sorts of cheap stuff at heavy equipment auctions. Yeah, the number of repossessions is beyond concerning right now. You cannot have a healthy society if people do not have transportation or the tools to do their job. You might, have a job you're not getting paid yet because the job's not finished, and they come and they take your excavator, and then you can't finish the job, and then you don't get paid, and then what? Man. Corporate Walnut, show us some wild Google Earth stuff. I need you guys to send me the wild Google Earth stuff. That's where the fun is. I have no idea where I'm going. Robert Hurt, did you see that dude get Hernandez to sign the ball in his last game? No. GDC, Angel Hernandez is a prime example of Hanlon's razor. Hanlon's razor is that we're like the most incompetent right at the top. Is an adage, rule of thumb, says never attribute to malice was adequately explained by stupidity. Oh, it feels like we're just a way of eliminating unlikely explanations for human behavior. Well, I mean, most people are mostly stupid, and I wouldn't doubt if Angel Hernandez is mostly stupid. But yeah, he really has two options. Either he's so absolutely terrible at his job that he's beyond incompetent, or he's so good at his job that his incompetence is being exploited. Corbin Morris, Adelaide Diaz for hated umps. Yep. Yeah. J-Dog, Mariners win with JP Crawford, bases loaded, sac fly, almost grand slam. Well, hey, at least he gets some RBIs. Ziggy780, Jimmy going to release any news before earnings? You got me, man. So next Wednesday is their earnings. Apparently they're doing it during trading, which is very strange. And then what? The 13th is the shareholders meeting. So my guess is there's probably news set and ready to go, and they're just going to release when it's pertinent for them. Usually earnings, they don't do any big news things on earnings. They say, these are the earnings. Bong, 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 bong. But yeah, they are going to be doing earnings into probably a huge period of volatility, which will be interesting to see what the market makers do to suppress price during that. But well, yes, we are. Baseball. Have you ever seen Finnish baseball? Finnish baseball is really cool. A lot of diving catches in Finnish baseball. All right, First Day Productions. Question from a 10-year-old. Black holes can be any size from basketball to light years across. True or false? Well, the black hole itself is a singularity. It doesn't matter how much mass is in there. It's still just a point in space. What has the volume or size is the event horizon. And the event horizon depends on how much mass is in that singularity. So like if the Earth were to shrink into a black hole, I think the event horizon is about 3 centimeters across, a little more than an inch. The event horizon for stars that, are multiple masses the size of our sun, they're probably not more than like 20, 30 miles across. Supermassive black holes, stuff that's in the center of galaxies, those things can be pretty substantial. I wouldn't doubt if their event horizons are more than an astronomical unit or more. And then you've got crazy, crazy supermassive black holes, ultramassive black holes. I don't know what term where they have like an entire galaxy's worth of mass. We're talking 300 billion suns in a black hole. And I don't know what the math would be on those event horizons, but those might likely be light years across or more. That's a lot of mass to have in one of those things. The black hole at the center of our galaxy, Sagittarius A, is like 2-3 million solar masses. But there's, what's the biggest one? Is it around 100 billion, I think? Largest supermassive black hole. Not Sagittarius A. Here we go. List of the most massive black holes. Theoretical limit, 2.7 times 10 to the 11th. Phoenix A. So we have about a trillion or so stars in it. All right. Okay. So that's pretty close to the theoretical limit of black holes, which is 2.7 times 10 to the 11th. Yeah, that's big. That's freakish. Sagittarius A is much smaller than that. It's like 2 times 10 to the 7th, right? 10 to the 6th. So it's 5 orders of magnitude larger than the black hole at our center of our galaxy. That's pretty crazy. Yeah, 10 to the 6th. 4.3 times 10 to the 6th. So it's 5 orders of magnitude larger. Yep. Man, that's mind-boggling to think about. So this guy up here. So 10 to the 11th. That is huge. Huge. So it starts 100 billion suns, not a trillion, 100 billion. Yeah, that's bonkers. That's the size of a galaxy inside of a singularity. Weird. Okay. Turkish. Oof. Almost missed the show. Happy birthday, Houston. What are your thoughts on Pulte saying he don't think we getting anything for BBY? I think if we don't get anything for BBBY, everything else is probably doomed at this point. Like, there's 1.6 billion to $10 billion in nulls on the table. No one's leaving that on the table. There's absolutely no one who's going to be like, oh, well, anyone who's got a decent sized company will gobble that sucker up just to get the nulls, because that means, you know, an extra $10 a share for their shareholders. So maybe more, right? So yeah, that's no one's leaving that on the table, especially when they're doing weird deals for Wish.com. There's $700 million in nulls. Or WAMU 10 years ago, when they had about $1 billion in nulls, that made all sorts of weird deals happen, and share prices went to $70-something a share. So there's no one leaving that on the table. It's coming. We might not get any waterfall. Who gives a shit about waterfall? I don't care about waterfall. I care about new equity. That's what I care about. New equity forces a squeeze. Those are the things I care about. So Pulte might be right. Yeah, there's no waterfall, but we never wanted waterfall in the first place. I don't know why people keep filing stupid crap in court asking for the waterfall. We don't care. We want equity. And if cash comes along with equity, cool. But all that matters is equity. Because if there's cash that comes for it, it's going to be like a penny per share. Who gives a rip, right? I want equity. And I want the equity to be worth tens or hundreds of dollars as a floor, and then force a squeeze on all those billions of shorts that were created. A penny a share in waterfall won't do any of the shorts. Will be like, all right, whatever. Here's a fart. And they just fart it out. But equity is where it matters. Chris Thompson. Jimmy moves the same way as AMC when it's moving up. You mean AMC moves the same way as GME. GME is the biggest one in the XRT basket. And that's who moves things. Tony Tran says Infinity Pool. GME.nut. They can only raise prop taxes a certain amount per year, not the current value of the house. Well, it depends on where you are. I think Prop 1 in California allows them to raise it 1% a year from your purchase price. I think that should be probably the rule everywhere, you know? And then if you're on fixed income, then, you know, it shouldn't move more than what your fixed income is. People need homes, man. They need homes. I understand we need to pay for stuff, but just have rich people pay for stuff. They got all the money. You know, the top 1% holds like 80% of all the wealth in this country. Why don't they pay 80% into the system? Why aren't they paying Social Security? Why aren't they paying anything else that helps the system? They're rich because the system exists. So they benefit more from the system that exists. So they should pay more into the system that exists, right? The fact that their goods and services travel on our roads and ports, that our satellite systems allow them to move things across the oceans cheaper and more safely, that their workforce is educated by our public schools, that their wealth is protected by our police and fire, right? All that their wealth is protected by the FDIC insurance and the market regulators and everything else. And the fact that we've got the big ass military making it so our dollar is the most valuable currency in the world, they benefited more from the system than anybody. They should pay in more. And we can't be like, oh, Social Security is going to go bankrupt. Well, the only reason Social Security is going to go bankrupt is because we got rich people not paying enough in and taking Social Security out. So have them pay more in and not take Social Security out. Problem solved. A lot of people retire. They don't have to rely on their homes as much for retirement, and we can bring home prices down. But we're going to have a weird housing glut probably coming soon because we are not replacing our population, and we're very xenophobic. So we're trying to kick as many immigrants out as we can. And we have all these older people who have giant, suburban homes, and the homes are too big. They're too expensive. They can't climb the stairs. They're looking at moving into retirement communities, and who's going to take their home? Right? They're going to be dying off. They're going to be leaving their homes to their kids. The kids are going to be trying to figure out how to sell them because, they don't want to live in the suburbs. They want to live somewhere cool, hip, urban, right? So what's going to happen when that real estate market comes to a head? We've got how many boomers a year dying now? It's a lot. How many? So we got 11,000 funerals. No, sorry, 7,000 funerals a day. And by 2037, it'll be 11,000 funerals a day of boomers. So it's coming, man. 2.6 million baby boomers die each year at the moment. So that's 2.6 million homes going empty, being left to the grandkids or the children. They're saying this is the largest transfer of wealth is from boomer to the next generation. So what's everyone going to do when they have like substantial cash for the first time in their lives from this? It's going to be very weird. My family doesn't have anything. There's 7 kids. We're not getting anything. But there's a lot of single kids out there, a lot of single children families whose parents are giving up the ghost in the next 10, 15 years. There's going to be a lot of that going on. Carla Giles, Houston. Postmo asks, how much of a discount are homes going to be and how long until a perfect time to buy one? I don't know. I think it depends upon when MOAS hits, what the real estate market is doing, if interest rates go up even more, which is, I bet they go up a quarter point at least some point in this year. Like what the foreclosure rates are happening. So that's really hard to pinpoint because last time around it was the mortgage-backed securities for residential markets that brought everything down. And now it looks like commercial mortgage-backed securities are bringing everything down. And how much of effect that has on things, whether that lines up with like the Airbnb bubble. But still, look at auction sites. Auction.com is always a... Whoa, some bitch. I'm always trying to spill water all over myself. Gosh dang it. That wasn't that bad. A little bit right there, a little bit right there, a little bit right there, a little bit right there. All right. Not on the keyboard this time, so that's good. Yay. That's all the little letters I'm supposed to file away, and I didn't file them away. That's all over that disk drive. Okay. Hopefully everything just dries out. Nothing. Anyway, going to auction.com. Auction.com. I got a little bit of water on me. Get off the keyboard. You too. Okay. Nope. I typed in action.com. I don't want that. I want auction. Auction.com. Oh, God dang. I cannot spell this in my life. Yeah, auction.com. I did action. Okay, here we go. Boom. Auction.com. Got all sorts of stuff here. Give me a location. Location for somebody that's like, where do you want to live? Let's see what's up for auction where you want to live. I'll look at the chat here. First one that pops up. Hi, cat. No, no one knows so. Come on. Give me something. Come on, pop in the chat. Give me the location. Anyone. Take a sip of my spilled water while I wait. And I'll wipe up some more spilled water with paper towel here. Philly. Oh, Philly. He can get cheap stuff in Philly. He's got to live in terrible neighborhoods. All right, Philadelphia. I don't know why anyone want to live in Philadelphia, but here you go. What we got for auction in Philadelphia? We've got $199,000 is current bid on this place. $69,000 for this one. $65,000. These look like pretty terrible neighborhoods. We have everything in $75,000. These are all townhomes. Here's a more suburban looking place, $85,000. Estimated value at $300,000. Here's one $85,000. Apartment at $75,000. To be determined. So these ones haven't gone to auction yet. Those are all to be determined. But it looks like you can pick up a row house. This one's $35,000. Looks like it's all boarded up. But you can pick up these places for under $100,000, no problem. The values aren't that high. Los Angeles will be a little more exciting. Los Angeles. It gave me Philadelphia again. No, Los Angeles. Los Angeles. There we go. What we got in Los Angeles? Okay. Here's a little place, $335,000. Apartment, $490,000. Valued at $1 million. There's $215,000 valued at $1 million. $450,000, $460,000, $800,000 valued at $2 million. So that's getting a little fancier. This valued at $1 million. So they don't have too much for auction yet. Some of these places are kind of like South Central, East LA, but some of them are in fancier parts. Here's Craftsman, $1 million valuation. That was $87,000. This one's boarded up, but valued at over $1 million on Milwaukee Avenue. Here's an estate, $2.8 million. Here we go. Let's look sexy on that. I've got 3 photos. Anything interesting? It's behind a gate, behind a hedge again. Okay. What's the address? 1147 Sunset. Copy. Do I have Zillow back up? I left Zillow, didn't I? Let's see if Zillow has any legacy photos. Control V. Yeah, we're doing that. Ooh, here we go. Pool. Tennis court. How about this, huh? Okay, so we got tennis court. We got a pool. We've got 3,000 square feet. We have kitchen, very white 80s kitchen, but Formica galore. Kitchen island, tile, fancy office, tile everywhere. We got another office. We got bedrooms galore. We got the brownest jet tub in the entire world, a carpeted bathroom. Nice little side yard. Yeah, tennis court. Look at that. Looks like, is it 2 homes or is it 2 homes? It's gated, right? There's a home here, and that looks like a whole nother home. Is that neighbors? It's just sharing the same driveway? Interesting. There you go. That looks like the Guggenheim up there. So you are kind of 101's got to be somewhere around there. So pretty good location. So yeah, there you go. $2 million for a $4 million house. Not too shabby. There's one of those excellent auction buys. Come on, give me a list. Give me a list back. Okay. Anything else popping up that's sexy? There's something with pillars. Looks very a big fat Greek wedding. To be determined. That's another $4 million house in foreclosure. There's some big ones. There's another $4 million house in foreclosure. Another $1 million one. Another $1 million one. There's another $4 million house. That is a big, giant, weird Spanish colonial box. Venice Beach. You live in Venice Beach for $1 million. You get a screaming deal. Let's look. 10th Avenue East, Venice Beach, Los Angeles County. Give it to me. I want to see what's going on with this place. Okay, so which one is it? Is it this one? It must be this one. 23 photos. Here we go. All right. So it's a big giant box. Big giant box. Big giant box. Very fancy. Very fancy. Okay. Very fancy. It's just like a big giant box. Very modern. Everything's been redone recently. Is it multiple apartments? It must be multiple apartments. Or is it one house? That's wild. Okay, that's $4 million. Okay, what are the other ones? We had Fort Lauderdale. Let's look at Fort Lauderdale. No, not now. Go away. Fort Lauderdale. You can go be Seattle, Washington. What the? No. How'd you get that out of Fort Lauderdale? FT Law Dirt. There we go. Seattle, Washington. You crazy asshole. Okay. $3 million house up for auction. This one, current bid's $100. Here you go. You can bid on this thing right now. Foreclosure sale online May 30th. So the auction starts on Thursday, and the current bid's only $100. This one's $100 too for another $600,000 house. $100 for somewhere in Hollywood, Florida. $100 starts this one. $100 for that one. There's like no minimum bids on these suckers. What is up with this place? It's like where Santa Claus balloons went to die. Doesn't look like super rich places popping up yet. This one's $1 million. There's $5 million. That must be a penthouse. 42nd Avenue. Huh. It's a big giant community. This must be all South Florida, not just Fort Lauderdale. West Palm Beach. Miami-Dade. Pembroke. Okay, we're all over. Anything waterfront? 6 bedrooms. What? $100 starting bid? Let's look at that. Okay. So, 8,500 square feet. Police parking only. So, it's just the gate outside. Okay, we gotta look at Zillow on this one. Let's do this. Okay. This is Fort Lauderdale, Zillow. Yeah, back to listing. Go away. Okay. What? Give me my... Go away. There we go. Bam, bam. Give it to me. Okay. $4.49 million. Oh, it's on a canal. Here we go. This is drug dealer type mansion. Boom. Look at that. You got your little lap pool right there on the canal. You're right in the heart of it. You can look at this. You got a ballroom for a living room. Fancy, absolutely sterile kitchen. Wrought iron Spanish. Lots of space. Lots of space. Look at that. Just you can sit in that chair and watch people take a dump. Man, there's a lot of style mixtures in here. This is... Now what are we getting into? Now we're in like a tiki lounge. I don't know if there's enough furniture in the world to fill that place up, but you can have a boat. $4 million bucks. Starting bid's $100. Do I hear $200? Do we hear $300? Let us go. So starting bid in this place is $100. When's it go for auction? That's updated 14th. 16 days on Zillow. Oh, it's Zillow. Sorry. We want this. Yeah. When's it go for auction? Estimated value is $5.5 million. Opening bid's $100. Wednesday, June 5th. That's the auction. So you got to be on the court steps of Broward County clerk office. You have to be on the court steps, and the starting bid's $100. Maybe the weather will be terrible and no one will show up, or it'll be super hot. No one will want to stand out there. But you can bid on that place. Maybe no one shows up. What? Are you hearing things out there? Are you hearing coyotes? Yeah? Do you want to go mess with some coyotes? You look like you do. Is the snow coming in through there? You need to go murder something? Well, I'm doing a show. We can't go murder things right now. No, we can't. No murdering. You can go down. Maybe someone will let you out. You can go murder them down there. Yeah, I'm staying here. I gotta do a show. You can go mess them up. All right. All right. So that's enough. Dance around. Auction.com is great. It'll show you all sorts of stuff that are bank foreclosures, where the auction's right there on the county courthouse steps. And yeah, but Monkey definitely wants to go murder something. There's something out there, isn't it? You can smell it. You smell it. Is it a deer? Is it bunnies? Is it a coyote? Is it a bear? Is there a black bear out there? You want to go fight with black bear? Yeah. All right. Okay, where are we? That was the housing question. Where was the housing question? Treetop says Bitcoin is pumping and ES futures are dumping. Tomorrow is going to be chaotic. I bet you're right. What did I do with here we go. Let's see what's happening with crypto at the moment. The app. It's the fastest way. GameStop completely flat. Crypto. Well, not pumping too much. That's 68. Kind of did one of those today. It looks kind of flat to me. Well, I think tomorrow's going to be weird just because everything's weird right now. Nothing's normal. Tony Tran, with 3 Scottish Republican justices in their 70s, this election will be the most important in our lifetime. Very possibly. Branding Howard, Houston, we have liftoff. Do we? Turkish, them tendies always get me hungry. Oh, the monkey treats? I know. You want to go murder something so bad. You do. We'll get there. Branding Howard, assuming it's not Pulte buying 5,621 $20 strike calls, but rather a short hedge fund trying to find a way to hedge when they close, would there be a beneficial strategy where RC keeps it under $20 via selling shares to the market? This way, shorts don't profit long, but rather lose a ton of premium on those calls. At the same time, allow GME to build an absolute war chest of tens of billions of dollars, which, yes, it would suppress the squeeze temporarily, but in the long run, if there was a gigantic buyback, merger, or whatever else, could cause dramatic swing and destroy remaining shorts. Well, they haven't approved any more sales. I don't think they have a reason why they would want to raise more money. They got $2 billion on cash on hand right now. They could be smart and put $1 billion into, short-term government treasuries and $1 billion into acquisitions of profitable companies, and get, regular cash flow from all that, and guarantee themselves a profit year in, year out, regardless. I don't know if it's Pulte. I don't know if it's DFE. I don't know if it's UBS. But someone is buying a boatload of that stuff. And let's see what they have to offer here. Okay, that's July 19th. Let's look at the 21st again. See what we got. Oh, looks like some of those $20 calls got sold. We're down to 122,000. We're at 130,000 of the June 21 $20 calls yesterday. We're at 122 right now. So somebody made some cash between yesterday and today on those. We still have an absolute crap load out of the money, and not too far out of the money, that have been triggered in recent weeks. So, interesting. Wonder if that's enough day traders working on those $20 ones, playing with it. Toys RF had a reverse split 10-1. They did, and then won't trade again until June 4th, I think. Calls and crayons me hungry. Treetop saw Furiosa on Monday. There were 6 of us in the theater. It was an AMC theater. Oh, there was maybe 6 or 8 of us on a Saturday at our local theater. I was thinking, oh, it'll be a crowd. It's Saturday. Nope. I used to go to movies every weekend. Every weekend. Granted, I lived next to a movie theater for years, but I don't do that anymore. it doesn't occur to me. I plunk down, I turn on the streaming service and see whatever the latest film is that way. Trying to think of the movie I saw in the theater before that. How long has it been? Might have been Top Gun Maverick. Was that 2 years ago? So I don't think I may not have been in the theater for the last 2 years. But so I think I saw Top Gun Maverick in the theater. Have I seen any others, Monkey? I don't think so. I just haven't gone. It just doesn't occur to me at this point. Which is not good. And plus, like, $20 to go see a movie is a lot of money. I saw Furiosa because Fury Road, I think, in my opinion, is the single greatest action film ever made. And so I was like, well, let's do it again. I was not disappointed. It was good. I'll probably watch it again when it ends up on a streaming service. But, oh, monkey butt, you dog, I know. I'm the most evil thing about letting you go murder stuff. And the prey has probably left the yard by this point. Huh. Yeah. Okay. Weisenhummer, VW Squeeze went from 200 to 1,000. I'm not selling Genie for less than 1,000. Oh, no. That's why I want my 1,000 shares, because it could easily go to $1,000, and I got $1 million. That's also why I want hundreds of call options if I can get them, because the more call options I can get my hands on, when that volatility does come back and it goes big, you're looking at, $10, $20, $30, $40, $50,000 a call option, and that's more than enough to retire on. So yeah. GDC says AMC will hit $100 just because it's in the basket, in spite of Adam Aron's best efforts. It could. But he's going to do his darndest to make sure it doesn't. He'd be like, oh, it's at $4, better sell 100 million shares. Oh, it's at $4.15, better sell another 100 million shares. He's going to work really hard on that. NFG, brother, did you notice that Toys R Us is up 14% last week? It's up 14% because they did the 10-for-1 reverse split. So and things haven't quite averaged out yet. So Toy RF. Oops, I did 2. Toy RF share price. It won't trade again until next Tuesday, I believe. So, I mean, it's at 9 cents. What's that put at? I forget how many shares I had. Oops, wrong one. That's in my Fidelity. I bought shares and I forgot that I bought shares. And the other day I looked at it and I was like, when did I buy that? But let's see here. I think I bought it like 2 cents or something. Well, they don't have the reverse split recorded in Fidelity yet. They still have it at about a penny. But saying on Google that it's at 9 cents. So it must have done the reverse split on Google, but not yet on here. What's it saying? It's sorry. It is. Well, they're saying it's at 5 cents on here. Looks like it did the reverse split because it says I've got 580 shares versus 5,800, which I think I had before. But they're saying 5 cents on Fidelity. It's saying 9 cents on Toys R Us on Google. Whatever. It's one of those things that I bought and totally couldn't remember that I had. I think I spent $100 on it. I was like, whatever. So now I've got that. Cool. Boom. As you get, dog. Pew, 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 pew. Look, I have to be honest, I'm incredibly surprised to hear that anyone believes AMC will only go double digits, especially given the reverse split. That's crazy. I mean, they did a reverse split, but they almost tripled the total shares outstanding in 10 months after that reverse split. So now we're at almost the size of the float as we had back when it was $30, $40 a share. Only it's been absolutely hammered down, and basically 20 times the number of shares have technically gone into existence. It's... Yeah. 110 Mahir. Any insights on 3D printing company Desktop Metal? Never heard of them. So, no. They were fined a pickup truck. Yeah. JP Morgan did billions of dollars via spoofing and got fined a pickup truck. Yeah. And 110 Mahir, who got the bulk of the 45 million shares sold by RC? Not a clue. Rumors are it's Carl Icahn. Rumors are that it's UBS. Rumors are. Who knows? Maybe it's just retail picked them up. I don't know. Brett Montgomery, originally I worked for a dealer manufacturer, and then I ended up being a commercial claims investigating the commercial claims. GDC, did you ever hike the Stairway to Heaven on Oahu? I heard those cowards are dismantling the actual stairs to discourage trespassers. You did hike it. How was it? Was it cool? I have. I did it in spring of, that'd be 05? Spring 05? Ooh, that's that spring break. We went to my friend Ahia's house. She lived in Lanikai, over on the east side of Oahu, and the Stairway to Heaven goes up from that side on the Pali. And we hiked that. It was exhausting, and you get up and you're basically in this giant cloud forest, so it's pretty wet and cold. So you go from like sweating to freezing your butt off, and then the way back down is way more terrifying than the way up because it is very slippery on the way down. You have to hold on to everything, and it's like this. I don't know if you've ever seen the stairs. Haiku stairs, yeah. These guys, that's not really doing it justice. There's spots that are much steeper, but it's pretty nice. It goes right up this ridge line, and it's usually just pissing rain or inside of a cloud, and these wood steps, and they are slippery as can be. Well, these ones have traction on them, so maybe they upgraded them since then. But there's a lot of wood steps in there, and these look all metal now. Oh, did they upgrade it? And now there's it's scary, but they have tread on them now. That's lame. But yeah, we were in the cloud forest. We didn't get views like this at all. It was just cloudy once we got up there. But yeah, it was neat. It was neat to do. You know, got a little bit of view to the west, not so much out like that's I think Kaneohe, the Marine Air Station out that way. But yeah, it's pretty darn steep. But yeah, we did it. If they're tearing it apart because they're scared everybody's going to, hurt themselves. Like, if you're the type of person who's going to hurt yourself on those stairs, you're not going to go up there. Only people who, like, your body goes, I'm not doing this anymore, and you need to go back down. It's that simple. Humans are pretty self-selective on hikes like that. The only people who are going to go up there are the ones who can do it. I think it's kind of silly that they're going to tear it apart. Plus, it's like a rite of passage for a lot of people out there. Like, did you hike it? Yeah, I hiked it. And they like high five each other because, you did something you have in common. George777, love T1 settlement. Striking Viking, Houston. I recall about 300 shows ago, you bought that lazy boy. It looks so comfortable since. Time for a new one? This one? The comfort level is definitely disappearing, and it is loud as heck. I would like a chair that does not squeak. It is quite the squeaky boy. So I do need a new chair that doesn't squeak as much as this thing does. I feel like I should like squirt WD-40 into like where the leather meets the rest of the leather. Punjabi Jackson. Deliver date 5/31. Rally. I can't even tell what those are. Is that a dude with a saw? Tomorrow and Friday squeeze. Let's hope. Oh, jeez. Waterfall confirmed. Ziggy780 cast system looks like it'll take time to work. Zoobs, New Zealand. I don't know if auction.com will have anything for New Zealand. Yes, Vegas. Lots of things will be for sale in Vegas because that's where people with gambling problems move to, and they foreclose their homes constantly. Jabba Jackson, Philly hellhole, fentanyl epidemic. Plano, Texas. Let's have him with Plano, Texas. What do you got for auctions? There's just a lot in Dallas in general. So, yeah, some big ass homes in Dallas. That sucker's huge. That's a big giant brick something or other. It's hard to get $1 million homes in Texas because, it's just cheap. A lot of Ramblers. Rambler Central. A lot of Ramblers. Rambler. Townhome. Cookie cutter. Like this place would be $1 million anywhere else, and it's $594. 3,000 square feet. Just a monster of a home. 3,000 square feet in that one too. They really like their dormers and their weird little pee things on that stuff, don't they? Lots of things available. Goodness gracious. There's $1 million home. 3,700 square feet, and you can like lick your neighbors. Big chunk of land, big ass house there. Of course, everything doesn't have any power right now. By going to this Getty Museum, got to be off the 405. Is it 405 goes by the Getty Museum? That was like the 101 went under it. But I could be wrong. It's been a long time. That was the house that had the pool and the tennis court. Dan Kuhnke. Thank you for encouraging me. In a previous episode, I was somehow accepted to university as a mature student, and I'm going back to school in my 40s. Everyone give Dan Kuhnke a round of applause. All right, way to go. Nice. I love going to school. It's my favorite. And then I go, after I do some gnarly paper to finish up a degree, I'm like, I'm never doing this again. I find myself like taking classes 2 years later. But yeah. Branding Howard, is there any way the 10,000 calls that went away were early exercised? Maybe. I have no idea. They could have been sold. They could have been early exercised. Not a clue. How quickly could they produce another sale? Could GameStop produce another sale? They could probably, because they can do it without shareholder approval. They could do it tomorrow if they wanted to. I don't know why they would, but they could. Confidence in Homer, I wonder what the penalty will be for not accurately reporting data on the CAT system. Probably like a bag of marbles and a pocket lint or something. be my guess. And hopeful Pomelo 4488. Hudson Bay is getting sued for $300 million by BBY, so they are considered nefarious, correct? We have to see what Hudson Bay responds with. Because so far they're like, those shares aren't ours, man. We'll have to dig deeper and see what comes of it. Because they apparently signed some sort of agreement they would never go over 9.9% ownership. And with the exercising the warrants that pushed them over. And then they sold. That's what they're arguing. They sold, and that constituted a restricted short sale according to Rule 16B, which means all the profits have to go to the estate. So, yeah. Coffee Jones Homer, if they can dark pool trades and halt squeezes, then how can volatility return? Well, I mean, there's been volatility with dark pools and squeezes and halts, I mean. It just goes real quick. So you got to be able to catch it. The big problem is that a lot of the volatility happens at the beginning of the day when it just plummets. And at the end of the day when we get that power hour. And it's really hard to like trade the options appropriately when you have volatility at the ends of the day, especially, you know, since options contracts can't trade after hours, which is real lame. Drone Mundial, check out Guatape, Colombia. 850 steps up. I did it. Guatape, Colombia. Guatape, Colombia. Ooh, look at that one. Well, that's neat. It's a big old granite Pluton. Images. Bing. Look at that. Oops, you guys can't see that because I don't have it on the screen. But that looks monkey butt, you're in the way. But yeah, there's like a lookout tower, this huge big granite Pluton. It's a cool looking granite Pluton. I wish more locales did gnarly things with their big granite Plutons. Yeah, it looks like quite the zigzaggy switchbacks to get up top of that thing. There's another view. Some sort of lake there. And their big Pluton. I mean, that's really cool looking. Is that a reservoir? Looks like it must be a reservoir, not a natural lake. Like you go to Greece or you go to China, you have like crazy monasteries on top of Plutons like this, or hoodoos, and I think it's just cool. So at the top, this is what the thing at the top is. That's neat. I dig it. There's a guy throwing his girlfriend over. Everyone's getting their Instagram photos in that. It's 870 steps, huh? It's cool, man. I'm all for it. Way to go. Frank Schulte-Jan. Schulte-Jan? Love that shirt. Matches Monkey Butt's blanket. Kind of does, doesn't it? Same colors. I know you're just upset because I didn't let you go murder things because I'm still doing a show. Thank you for all insights. Appreciate you. Well, thank you. GDC. Using only products available in prison commissary, what is the best way for an inmate to maintain his fresh from the pumpkin patch orange glow? Asking for a friend. My guess is if you want things to be orange, you got to figure out how to smoke cigarettes out of the pores of your skin. Get nice nicotine stains everywhere. That's probably going to be the best way to do it. Like if you could somehow breathe through your cheeks, your neck, vagina, those things, you can maintain your orangeness. Otherwise, you may have to like rub your face on rusty bars, prison bars. You get all rusty, you rub your face on it, maintain that orange glow that way. Randy Howard, so if they want to, they could raise money to get the price under $20 before the shorts lose hedge premium. Possibly, but I don't know why they'd want to. I think what you want to do is you want to exercise those calls. They got to go into the market and find shares that don't exist and go bonkers. Go absolutely bonkers. To me, that'd be better than, selling to the market some more. I want bonkers now. Yesterday. In 5 minutes, everything should go nuts. coffee, donuts, and homers. Still driving my paid off piece of shit Tacoma, 180,000 miles, runs great. There you go. And Brendan Howard, I mean, obviously they'd have to make it look like a legit raise for a merger, but in truth, you're bleeding short hedge funds of millions in premiums. Maybe, unless the people buying the tens of thousands of $20 in the money calls are your buddies, and they want shares, they want to set this thing off. Then you're just hurting your investors. Rosette Production says it's rumored HBC is holding RC shares. Brady Howard, yeah, but they are suppressing prices anyway. How do we know it would indeed run? Because they don't have those shares. Those shares do not. There's something like 480,000, 500,000 call options that are currently in the money going to the end of June. That's 50 million shares that do not exist. So if those were to exercise now, next Friday, they've got to go on the market and they've got to find 50 million shares that don't exist. Where are they going to get them from? The day traders don't have 50 million shares. With the cat system, they may not be able to find them in dark pools or hit the F5 button and generate some naked ones, because it'll be just glowing alarm bell to the powers that be that yes, we are doing nefarious criminal things. We'll have to see how the cat system on Friday really kicks this thing off. I'd be very interested. 64 Kool-Aid. The answer is Kool-Aid makeup, Cheetos in a pinch, goldfish crackers. That's fine ideas too. Yes. Branding Howard. So it's Pulte or Friendly that owns them. That's my guess. I think DFV owns a bunch of them. Pulte may have jumped in. There might be a couple other whales in here who bought a bunch because they're seeing the options chain and they're seeing what those $12 calls for May 17th did to volatility. So, yeah. 54 Vaseline with Kool-Aid will work as a fake bronzer. Okay. Either you know from experience or you're Googling that right now. All right. I'm at the end here. I salute all of you. I'm probably going to wrap it up. I think I'm going to do a short show tomorrow. Monkey Butt and I are going to take a walk with a friend early in the afternoon. So, but yeah, maybe like a little hour or 90-minute show tomorrow. And I'll see you guys then, right? Monkey, you ready to go kill some things? Yeah? Okay. We'll let Monkey go kill some things. We'll do a quick After Dark outro and shabam. Murder on the Monkey Butt Express. That's where we're headed. Right, Monkey? Look at those ears. She's